maybe because it was it's so robotic and cutting out for me that I can't like I'm catching every other word. I see that we are now live.
We are indeed live. Alright, hold on.
Is that any better?
Not really, but it'll work.
No.
Then it's the internet, and I can't do a damn thing about that.
All right. Well.
Alright.
Oh, God, dog, move.
Let's go ahead and get started now. Even though we have 0 viewers currently, welcome everybody who is watching this video in the future and later on watching this stream. This is For the XP, a small group of nerdy-ass friends playing some 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons in my homebrew world. Everybody go ahead and introduce yourselves again, starting with whoever.
I'm Stormie.
I'm Janae.
I'm Nick.
And go ahead and tell them what you're playing, of course. Sure, they would like to know.
I did that the first time.
There could be new people. You never know. Come on now, Stormie.
Althaea Galanodel, and she is a wood elf cleric of Artemis. And yes, I need to go kill that. In the background, you hear some kind of gamer information from me. I don't know what the hell it is.
I'm Janae, and I play the Tiefling Noble Warlock Abaddon.
And I am Nick, and I play the Dragonborn Sorcerer Scales.
And I just got a Twitter message from our wonderful DM saying we were streaming.
Indeed, we are. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started on the recap. Last time, the party continued on their preparations for seducing the Groga brothers by practicing flirtation with Abaddon, coaching Althaea, and Scales being the guinea pig. The party cleaned up and headed out for the night on the town in search of the targets, finding them originally at the Stumbling Satyr, grabbing a few drinks and being boisterous and getting ready for the night of debauchery. Althaea went in to attempt to seduce the Groga brothers, only to find out they had no interest in women whatsoever. Shortly after, Abaddon went in to try his charm, but only found that the brothers had already left, so that left them to go search for them once more. After searching the other taverns in the town, the Broken Oar and Poseidon's Rest, they found out they are nowhere to be found, but were able to track them down to a brothel called Siren's Pleasure, owned by a very attractive and very seductive tiefling. Althaea waited outside while Abaddon and Scales both went inside to try their charms in the way of seduction. Nearly forced to have sex with the brothers, Althaea sensed something was wrong and went into Siren's Pleasures to investigate. She confronted the brothers and challenged them to a battle in the arena. And before any witnesses could be possibly made, the party attacked the brothers, forcing them to a dark alley. After the Grogrubs were slain, the party decided to go with Abaddon's idea to use their bodies and souls as sacrifices to Asmodeus. And that is where we left off. We are in the basement of Siren's Pleasures. They had just slain the Grogrubs, and they were just sacrificed to Asmodeus. So, my players, you had just witnessed a sacrifice to a demon lord that you're not necessarily sure of. I think we rolled religion checks if we have not.
Scales and Althea
Yes, I know
both
exactly
recognize the symbol.
Okay, yeah, so you guys recognize the symbol as Asmodeus.
Now, how much they actually know about Asmodeus?
That's different.
Remember, I'm not a lawful good cleric. I'm a chaotic neutral, so I really don't give a shit.
So yes, you had just witnessed this ritual. So, what would you guys like to do from here?
I'm just going to look over at Abaddon. I'll be, well, throw him a thumbs up and go, that's one way to get rid of a body.
No evidence, right?
None whatsoever, except for the marking on the floor, but he took that as well.
Well, we can get that covered up all nice and pretty.
Well, I suppose as long as it works.
Alright, sorry about the almost getting you raped thing.
Who was almost raped?
Us both. By the
You
brothers.
would have liked it. Scales, I don't think you would have liked it much.
I mean, I'm not into dudes. I think they were attractive considering, but you know, nah.
And all you will see is Althaea cover her mouth and her face turn bright red. Like she's trying not to laugh.
Well, I suppose one of us should go up and inform the Lady Siren that the business is concluded, but that we, in all
I got
honesty, it might be wise if we ask her if we can stay down here for a while, because we're going to want to lay low for a bit.
I got this. So I'm gonna go upstairs to talk to Siren.
As you
Lay
walk
low?
up to, are you guys following Abaddon up there, or are you going staying
Yeah.
in the basement? As you all,
Right, lay low.
I'm staying. I'm staying in the basement.
all right,
Well,
so,
Thea wants to watch me get laid.
Lay
so
low?
I'll,
What do you mean lay low?
Well, the giant boom when we were fighting, the disappeared nobles. We have to be sure we're not under suspicion for killing them.
But I was gonna go play in the arena.
Hmm.
entirely up to you. What you want to do, you can definitely go try and do that. I'm sure the arena is right there waiting for participants.
Oh, it is right around the corner. And it's
Yeah,
mostly underground, but...
Yes, but if they suspect anything, I doubt the nobles will hesitate to have you burned on the cross next.
Yeah, I'm not
Something
exactly
tells me.
fireproof.
Yes, something tells me they aren't exactly ones for evidence. They'll likely just jump at whoever they can pin it on.
Yeah, but you guys do remember, we were the one that calmed the crowd and made it look like we were on the noble side. And I'm pretty sure with the right persuasion, a few people in this area looking at Abaddon could possibly be swayed to turn their heads the other direction.
If you want to go, fine, but if you get arrested, that's on you, not us.
I didn't say I was going now, but I did just throw $100 at a woman that wasn't, 100 gold at a woman that wasn't even necessary because all we did was break a door. I doubt a door costs 100 gold in this place. Sheesh.
All right, so where are we going?
Well, first we need to talk to Siren before we decide to do anything else.
I'll go back down and stay with Scales while she goes and talks to Siren.
All right, so Scales and Althea, you stay in the basement. As Abaddon, you make your way up the steps and enter through the basement door, the door leading from the basement into the main building. The same pink magical torches line the entire building. The scent of moon sugar and various perfumes and just sexual scents fill your nostrils.
Well, do I see Siren anywhere nearby, or do I have to go hunting?
You don't see her directly. You are over by the back hallway that you originally ran into the Grogo brothers. You're around that area.
Okay, so I'm gonna go around toward the front room and see if I see her up there.
As you enter the front room, there's some light music being played by a live lute player off in the one corner. You see several patrons sitting along one of these cushioned seats, smoking off of hookahs, and you do see Siren sitting with one of these patrons, looking very flirtatious and placing light kisses and just trying to work the customers the best she can.
God damn it! I have to go in and interrupt her while she's flirting with someone.
You certainly can try.
Can I just go to her and say, "Hey, baby, an infernal"?
You certainly can, if that's what you want to do.
That's what I'm gonna do.
So you being the only other tiefling in the room, you do catch some looks, but also they don't look concerned looks. They're just like surprised that they see another tiefling in here. Already surprised because of Siren being a tiefling herself. You approach her as she's servicing this customer, not quite sexually, but she is being very courteous host and just taking care of him. She takes notice of you as you approach, and you and speak in infernal, "Hey, baby." She just kind of smirks at you, and she replies, infernal, "I'm kind of busy right now. Is there something I can help you with later?"
No, I mean, we're gonna be hanging out in your basement for a while. I just want to be sure you're cool with that.
I could allow that for a fee, of course. I can't just have strangers staying in my basement for free.
Well, I'm pretty sure I was supposed to do you a favor. You know what I mean?
She just kind of
Winky.
she just kind of smirks, and she says, come back in a few hours, and we'll take care of that."
All right then. I
Then
guess
she turns and pays more attention to her current customer.
I'll go downstairs and let the other two know that we're gonna lay low here.
Well, that's at least one concern taken care of.
When you get back down there, Althea's just pacing. She's sitting there flipping the hammer up and down in her hand. The whole Thor move.
You already going stir crazy?
My patron is a goddess of nature, and I'm stuck underneath the building. Yeah, stir crazy is the proper word for it.
Yeah, Althea, being a wood elf alone, and just your natural elf sensibilities, you definitely do prefer to be out in the nature. And being this far, this long in a basement, would definitely drive you a little stir crazy.
The walls are made of wood. You're around nature.
Yeah, well, we don't have great internet, so.
So the camera doesn't work?
Well, it's not that it doesn't work, it's that it takes up a lot of bandwidth and it causes a lot of lag.
Oh. Just letting you know it's boring as shit.
Sorry.
Okay. So let you know from an outsider's point of view.
Well, you're not into it anyway.
Yeah, and I'm that much more bored than normal.
Okay, well,
Oh my god.
I'm playing.
Play!
All right.
Jesus Christ.
I'll wave hi.
All right, sorry about that, everybody. I was briefly interrupted.
You hear what I said, Althea?
No, I didn't.
I said the walls are made of wood. That's nature.
You know those half-cocked bullshit eyes the teenagers give parents? That's exactly what you're getting right now. With her hand on her hip and holding her hammer.
I'm not gonna get hit for that, am I? I'm just
Try
trying.
me an ale and I'll think about it.
We need to lay low. I'm just trying to help. It's fine. Calm down.
You can also go lay low with the priest of Poseidon.
You definitely could attempt to convince Father Nelimus to do that.
I feel safer here with the hot tiefling.
Well, how about this? You and Scale stay here. I'm going to go closer to the water because it's part of nature.
And if one of us gets into trouble, we have no way to communicate.
I'm trapped underground.
Go outside.
Below an abyss of fornication. I'm below an abyss of fornication. Below it. Not even in it. Below it. And
You
she's
have to-
literally pointing up to the ceiling with her hand up.
Do I need to take you outside to hug a tree for a few minutes?
Scales, do me a favor and step between us.
Scales is kind of absent-mindedly minding his own business, pulls out the Histories of the Dragonborn book from before and sits in the corner reading.
I don't think he's paying attention.
I'm not getting involved in this.
All right.
So
So
the camera back in its little holster.
given the obvious tension in the room, this room falls to a very quiet, with barely hearing like the footsteps and like the light, the chatter with like everything going on upstairs. You could barely hear it, being that you are underground. There's obvious tension in the room, being that Althea is quite grumpy and very, very ready to get out of this basement. As far as you are concerned, you are able to lay low here for a while, if that is your choice, but you are always free to go pursue other things.
Let's say after reading the book for a little bit, Scales kind of almost slams the book shut in his hands and puts away. Well, if we're going to lay low, and Miss Althea doesn't seem quite happy down here, perhaps this would be a decent time for us to find some sort of, I don't know, an odd job. Try and make a little bit of money back, especially after we spent so much this evening.
Do you want to go back to the arena, Althea?
Yes, 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 yes. Please, please.
Okay, come on. Skills, do you want to come with us, or?
You two go ahead. I'm going to go into town to see. Actually, I might go and visit Rayloff and see if he has anything.
Don't forget to wear a cloak.
Well, as you guys exit the building itself, you do realize it is still very dark outside, so finding any actual odd job in the market would be very difficult, as most of the stores would probably be closed. The arena, however, is
Always open. It's a 24-hour arena.
It's like Walmart, always open.
And as you guys are exiting the alleyway that led to the back door of the Siren's Rest, who is the one leading the way?
I'm gonna lead the way, but I'm gonna be on the lookout for, guards and shit. Anything that looks like it might come after us.
As you turn the corner, you do see a group of 6 people, 5 guards and 1 person that is wearing a hooded cloak, kind of searching around the area of where your battle took place with the Groga brothers.
Okay, we should definitely avoid them.
Althea lean close and go, I got this.
Are you gonna go attack them?
No, I'm gonna use a trick that one of my friends taught me on my last adventure.
Don't screw it up.
She'll walk up there stumbling, acting like she just had quite a bit to drink. And she'll stumble past them and bump into them. Oh God, I'm so sorry.
One of the guards grabs you by the collar of your chest plate and asks you, "You there? Have you seen any suspicious activity around here? We heard a loud thundering boom. We suspect that there has been violent activity around this area, and it'd be unfortunate if you, being clad in armor, were involved in such activities."
No boom. You don't hear no boom.
You know, hear no boom. And he kind of just shakes you one more time and just kind of like trying to jostle the sense into you. Look here, you drunken Bogart. Don't play stupid with me. Tell me what you know.
The beer's really good in there. Point towards the back, towards the door.
And he just kind of scoffs and just kind of like throws you to the side. Now, not necessarily like throwing you to the ground, but just kind of shoves you off. And just like looks over at his other guards, is like, this one knows nothing, and she appears to be too inebriated to be any help to us.
She just stumbles back against the wall and goes, I don't know what you guys were hearing, but I think that's the same alley. I think that's the same alley they threw me out of. And I don't remember.
Who threw you where?
She'll stand up and stumble. She'll point towards the guards, but she'll look at the guards at the door and wink at them at the same time. Touch her hammer very lightly, where only they can see. Go, they threw me in the alleyway, didn't you? I got too rowdy and got too drunk. I said, just celebrating the earth. Just celebrating everything Artemis gave us. It's not a sin. She'll stumble back against the wall.
He just kind of angrily, again, brushes you off. Get out of this investigation area. This is classified information in a classified area to be. Interfere with this investigation anymore, and you will be taken into custody.
Just
and he kind of just like
wobble a little bit, put her hand before it, and go, yes, sir.
Give him like a drunken salute.
Yes.
So you basically get past. You get past.
He has done this. You guys have gone back in and around and gone through. For all that would have for naught.
I mean, considering you didn't tell us literally any of that, no, I'm pretty sure we were standing there watching you like, don't fuck this up.
Exactly. That's exactly what they're doing. You
So,
just kind of you just kind of watched her pretend to be a drunken idiot and got through the guards and made it to the other side. Kind of like she kind of like looks back towards you guys, like seeing if you're still there, but continuing forward.
Well, at least she didn't get caught. Very well, I suppose we should try and find a different way out of these alleys then.
Just have to walk around where they are.
From where you came from, there isn't a way to go around. It just kind of is like an alleyway that goes to a dead end and to the right where you came from. There is. Go ahead and make me a perception check, both of you.
Okay.
6. Hitting them high numbers.
19.
Scales, you kind of look around, seeing if there's a possibility of getting around this checkpoint, basically, and across the way, like kind of catty corner, like a little bit, like maybe 10 feet more closer to the guards, across the way of this 20-foot alleyway, you see, like in the distance, that there is like a ladder that climbs up to the top of one of the buildings.
Well, if you're not afraid of heights, I have an idea.
Afraid of heights?
What can Althaea see down there right now?
You're not. You've already passed this point. You were on the opposite side of the guards.
Can I still see the area that they are standing in?
Say that one more time.
Can I still see the area where they would be at? Not that they're seen, but in the vicinity.
Yeah. You can still see like where you left them at. Like you're not very far off at all. You're pretty much like at this point probably like 20 feet away from where you like walked past the guards.
Okay.
Is there something you want to do before we run up this ladder?
Well, I'm hoping that they've all turned back. Have they all turned back to the alleyway by now?
They're just like all facing different directions, kind of searching for what you would suspect, like searching for like clues and stuff.
But
And
if
there's
any of them paying attention to me, directly looking at me.
no.
So then it would look like I'm just, moving drunkenly, but I will stumble away to where I bang into a trash can to catch their attention again.
Okay. Go ahead and make. I don't know what. I don't want. It's either. I'm trying to think if it's either a
It would basically be a minor attack onto a trash can.
Well, no, that I'm not gonna make you roll for. It's more of like getting their attention kind of thing. Like what roll?
Would that be a deception check, maybe?
Well, whatever I add to it, I have a 16 on the die, so.
Go ahead and
Looking at a
make a performance check because you're trying to perform to be drunk.
Oh, God.
That don't take much. Trust me.
So you roll a 16 on a die, so what's your modifier?
My modifiers are 1, so it's 17. That's the only thing that's low. But still, 17 is pretty good.
All of them kind of take notice of the loud bang you make with the trash cans for a very slight moment. So if you're going to, if you're trying to send Scales and Abaddon a signal, and they would go ahead and
I was just about to say, can I make some kind of check to realize what she's doing?
make an inside check. Insight. Not
We
Inside.
should probably both roll that just in case. God damn, shit rolls tonight.
17.
Yeah,
You
you're
kind of
just
get the
ignore
idea.
mine.
Scales, you kind of get the idea that knowing that she wasn't already drunk before, and that she's just now basically stumbling in the trash cans and making noise, you kind of get the idea that she's probably providing a small distraction for you guys.
So I kind of like just smile a bit and kind of elbow Abaddon, like, let's go, now, hurry.
Both of you roll stealth checks with advantage.
With advantage.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank God we had advantage. 17.
With my skill, that's 20.
They seem very. They don't take notice of you as they begin to bring their attentions back to whatever they were doing. You're able to dart across the alleyway over to the next alley without actually being noticed.
Alright, so
And
is
I
it
will
just
stumble out of sight and go
is
to
it
the
just
ring.
an alley, or is it the alley with the ladder?
It's the alley with the ladder.
Okay. So as soon as we reach the ladder, then I kind of just step aside and gesture, like, after you.
Send the old man first. I'll go.
You realize as you're climbing up that this is actually going to be a pretty tall building. It's a very on the larger side warehouse that it raises about 50 feet off the ground, used for various storage, just storing like crates and everything. So when you get to this roof, you're going to be at a very high point. If you have any, I don't think you have any fear of heights at all, but it is a little disorientating because it's been a while since you've been this high off the ground.
And I'm old and out of breath, probably, at the top.
Yeah, you're I wouldn't say out of breath, but you do get a bit of a workout from climbing all those rungs in the ladder.
And
Should've
that being said,
exercised more as
if
a
we're
noble.
that high in the air, I would imagine unless we're like making huge noise up there, we're not going to get anybody's attention.
No. You're like the ladders don't make any noise. They do sound creaky a little bit, but not audible enough to get anybody's attention.
Well, I meant like short of us walking and suddenly one of us falling through the floor and screaming.
Oh yeah.
Attention.
Alright, so what do we see up on the rooftop?
You see the other, you figure out that the other rooftops are aligned with the other rooftops, and they're like a good 5 to 10 feet in between each other. So if you, more like 10 to 15, not 5 to 10, because then if it was 5 feet, you could just step over. But there's a good amount of distance in between of them. So if you want to jump to the next building, you're gonna have to make a athleticism check to jump to the other side.
That's an athleticism check with the risk of falling 50 feet to the ground.
I have a question. My unseen servant does. First off, is it solid?
Yeah, I'd say it's. I mean, it's.
It can interact with solid objects.
So it is solid, but it's definitely it would be a solid entity. Yeah.
Second question: does it like walk, or can it like float in the air? So could it float between two of the buildings?
You could cast. What's the range on that? Like, how far can you cast it? Because I don't think it could float. I think it could. I don't think it can fly.
60 feet.
Well, you could definitely cast it at a distance, but I just don't think they fly. I could always look this up, but
No, I don't think they do.
Another
Hey,
point
it doesn't specify on the.
I wouldn't say they'd fly. That just doesn't make sense to me. So
Another point to that. If
Yes.
you're trying to do what I think you're doing, keep in mind that those things tend to have a weight limit.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking is that I would at least get enough time to jump off of him. To just kind of use him like a stepping stone. The mage hand might be better for that, though, because I know that thing could, stop in between the two buildings, and I could just get a running start and jump across. And just have it there in case I miss.
You could do anything with the mage hand from one building to another to make a step path.
Wait, what?
that's what
She's
she's
saying
trying to do.
She glitched out real bad.
Yeah, we did not hear that at all, Stormie.
What she's essentially
Find something on the roof that's long enough to stretch between both the buildings, and if it's on another building, use your mage hand to stick it between the two buildings. Walk across. Or just do the Aladdin thing and grab the pole and run and jump.
I have nothing on my strength. I don't want to fail an athletics check and break my neck.
I mean, it's only 10 to 15 feet, so it wouldn't be that hard of a jump.
No,
At
but
the same
it'd be a roll of
time-
six. Probably no more than a 10.
Do you remember that the last two checks she's made, she's rolled horribly?
That's
So
the roll.
just hop on Scales' back, and Scales can jump across for the both of you.
No, I can't. I only have a strength of 12. There's no way I could make that while carrying her.
I would definitely make him roll at disadvantage.
Or, does anybody have a ladder and a pickaxe?
No.
Or not a ladder,
No.
but a rope and a pickaxe? A rope and a grappling hook. I think I did. I think I might actually have at least
Oh my god, I can't see.
Okay, so while you guys are pitching around ideas, I'm going to pitch around a different idea. From where that ladder is, I'm going to
Actually,
or maybe-
actually, I have an idea. Sorry. Is there anything I could tie a rope to?
Well, let Nick finish
Buildings.
his idea, please.
please.
It's not
While
nice
you're
to-
working that out, I'm going to walk along the edge of the building, sort of looking over the edge to see if there's any lower ledges I could get to.
Are you checking all four sides?
I'm kind of just skirting along the edge, looking over to see if there's any I don't know, a lower ledge, boxes, something.
Make a stealth check.
Okay. That is let me see, what's my dex? 17.
Yeah, you're able to do it without gaining the attention of any other guards. You don't see really any. You see some windows, but none of them really have a solid edge that you can use as a platform to move.
All right. Janae's
Oh,
idea.
that shit.
So, is there anything on the building we're trying to get to that I could tie a rope to?
Make a perception check.
And this is why she didn't want to jump.
6.
You don't see anything that catches your eye that's something that you could possibly hook a rope onto.
I reiterate, this is why she won't jump. She has made 3 back-to-back horrible rolls, and you want her to make a jump when there's a 50-foot drop?
Get another D20!
They're all rolling bad. I switched between them.
Hey, you never know. This could be the one that rolls a natural 20. This check right here.
Or it could be the roll that drops you into an alley, breaks your legs, gets the guard's attention, gets you arrested.
And I die. And I had a perfect plan for the rope, too.
Okay, here's an idea. Why don't you ask me to look?
Okay, Scales, you see anything we can tie a rope to on that other building?
I will make a perception check then.
Please do. Remember,
Please.
social interaction.
So funny you said that, Brent.
Natural 20?
Nat 20.
Oh, yeah. You easily see what looks like the remnants, like a very, like a broken in half, like another ladder on the other side. Like it's the ladder to that building to get on top of the roof.
I see what looks like part of a ladder left over there.
Now, whether or not you know whether or not if it's gonna be stable enough to hold any kind of weight to it, because it is the remnants of a ladder, that's questionable.
Okay, I'm gonna take the hemp rope out of my Dungeoneer's pack, and I'm gonna use my mage hand to go and tie that rope to the ladder, and then I'm gonna tug on the rope to see how sturdy that ladder is.
How hard are you gonna pull on it?
Well, we want to pull as hard as we can. At least me, I weigh less, so I can't pull all that hard, but it would be enough to tell if it's gonna come off.
Yeah, no, you tug on it pretty hard, and you hear it kind of creak a little bit in the distance. Again, not too audibly loud to get anybody's attention. They're pretty intent on this search. But you get the idea that it could hold some weight.
Okay.
Again,
So, how do we want to use this to get across? Do we want to swing? Do we want to try to tightrope walk?
I just love how complicated this is getting. I love you guys. Althea, as you're kind of waiting for your comrades to get to you, you happen to notice the cloaked gentleman that was with the guards walking past you, going back towards the main road of the warehouse district. As if he finished like giving orders and was heading back to whatever he needed to do.
Stormie.
She's just kind of sitting on the ground, like, or kind of laying down on the ground with her back up against the wall, and she's pulling apart a piece of meat, dried meat, and eating it from her rations.
Yeah, he doesn't. He kind of like recognizes you as the person they passed off as a drunk, and being that you're laying on the ground eating food, it doesn't raise any kind of suspicions. Just kind of curious of why someone he doesn't approach you, but you can see a little bit of a curiosity in his eye of like, why are you exactly in this alley? Back to Abaddon and Scales. How are you gonna get across this?
Okay.
Relatively small gap.
Okay, so I have a thought here.
Okay.
Abaddon, how much do you weigh?
Like 140 pounds. Why?
Well, I'm almost double your weight. If need be, I can act as an anchor for you to get across.
Well, I mean, I have pittons in my Dungeoneer pack that I could use to hammer the rope down onto this end.
Assuming the roof is sturdy enough to hold.
I mean, it should be. It should be at least sturdy enough to hold me.
It's pretty sturdy. I mean, you do walk on some planks of wood that are on the roof that are loose and squeaky just from being old, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna cave on you at any moment.
I'm just thinking whether I should, like, crawl across the rope, I guess would be the safest.
Alright, you know what? I'm rolling well. I'm going to risk it.
You gonna jump?
I'm going to run and jump.
All right.
I'm going to get a good ways back and just hit a full sprint to jump.
All right. Make an athletics check.
Let's see. Athletics is strength. That's +1. Funny enough, I only have the +1 because, dragon. Well, that's an 18.
Yeah, no, you're able to get a good running start, and you jump and land with a loud thud on top of the roof, and you kind of hear off in the distance, "What was that? Who's on the roof?"
Okay, then I'm going to quickly, like...
Do I hear the loud thud?
You do hear the loud thud. And are you going to go ahead and skip and kind of like go back towards the situation?
Yes.
As you get up and go back, you kind of see what looks like some guards running back to the alleyway that they went to, going searching from where the noise came from, and they possibly might be going up a ladder.
Oh, shit.
What are you doing? What is that?
She just whistled.
They didn't really. They're not paying attention to you. They are actually
I'm
going.
not having them pay attention to me. I'm whistling for my comrades.
Okay, both of you make perception checks to hear this whistling.
It's like that whistle you use to make a dog come to you. That
15.
Yeah, no, I don't hear it.
Abaddon, you definitely hear the urgent whistling off in the distance, and you kind of see Althea on the ground, kind of signaling you once more that there is some trouble afoot.
Okay, Scales, I think I have trouble on my side.
Well, then you need to make a decision and get over here now.
This is where I close my eyes and make the check, and then if I fail it, I make the check to try to grab the rope.
yes.
Oh, God.
And if you fail to grab the rope, Althea will be there to catch you.
Okay, so
Actually-
I fail the jump.
All right,
What did you
then-
roll?
2.
Oh
then
my
if I may,
Yes.
I'm going to move to the edge to reach my arm out to her.
All right, so make a dexterity check, Scales, to see how fast you can do that.
I also have the rope there to try to grab onto.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay. So.
That's a 16.
Yeah, you're able to get. You kind of see that that Abaddon's not going to make it, and you kind of you instinctively run forward and try to reach forward out to grab Abaddon's hand. Both of you make athletic checks to see if you can grab a hold of each other, grab a hold of the hands.
I'm gonna stop trying now.
What did
God
you roll?
damn it, Janae.
7.
Nat 20. Fucking
You're able
lucky
to-
I'm your ass.
Like Abaddon's hand begins to slide down your arm, but you're able to like grab him by the very edge of his wrist, barely holding onto him as he dangles.
Grab me by my horn. Drag me up by my horns. I don't even grab your hand.
Althea, you see Abaddon and Scales kind of just like struggling to maintain Abaddon from falling 50 feet.
And I will run down there, get under Abaddon, and say, drop.
Okay.
What are you gonna do, guys?
I guess I don't have any choice. I'm gonna drop him.
All right.
That 20 says I'm catching her.
You got your roll a nat 20.
Yes.
I'm banning you guys, by the way. Althea, or Abaddon, you fall what seems like for forever, and like you feel like you're gonna die at any moment because you don't know whether or not you don't know in your head whether or not you're gonna be caught. You think you might be taking some damage, but Althea is able to ground herself and like cushion the fall enough to where neither one of you actually take any damage, and you land on the ground safely. Scales, you witness Abaddon falling and getting caught by Althea, and then in front of you, you see that there is a guard or two coming towards you on top of the other roof.
My rope.
Then I'm going to get up and run.
All right, you're gonna run to the next building and try to make a jump.
I'm going to just start running and jumping.
All right, Althea and Abaddon, you start to see Scales panic and run, take off to the next building. Scales, I need this one's a little bit further of a gap. It's actually more like 20 feet away, and it's a little bit shorter to you, so it doesn't really change the thing because of the fall distance. So go ahead and make me an athletics check.
15. Oof.
As you jump, you start flying, and you get very close to the edge, and you like slam into the side of the edge of the roof, and you're able to catch on, and you're able to pull yourself up very quickly. And you hear more guards coming up on top of the roofs, beginning to make their chase towards you.
Well, then I guess I'm just going to have to keep running until I run out of places to go.
You see another building below with a ladder leading down across. It's a little bit taller, but since there's a ladder, you're able to have something to actually grab upon. Go ahead, and if you're going to run and make a jump, go ahead and make me an athletics check.
Well, is there anything we can do to try to catch up to him and maybe help?
Well, are you running alongside him?
Well,
Like
after
after
I got Abaddon put down to, his feet, I'm going to take off running to help Scales next.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure
Yeah,
out
you
where he's going.
guys see him running, and you see him almost fail his jump, and he kind of catches back on. He prepares to make a jump to the next building, and you're like right alongside of him, like running with him.
And let's see, +1, 17.
You run forward and you jump and you start and you grab a hold of the bars of the ladder, and at first you feel it creak like it's gonna like come apart, but it barely holds your dragon weight as you're just kind of like hanging there for a minute. Holy shit! It went black. No. There we go. I fixed it. I was like making sure no one got dropped.
All right then. Since I'm on the ladder, I guess I'm gonna slide down the ladder.
You're gonna slide down the ladder. Go ahead and make an acrobatics check to make sure you can slide smoothly down this ladder.
12.
It's a little rough. You catch a sharp corner of the bar. You take 2 points of slashing damage into your palm. It doesn't really affect you because of the adrenaline of the moment, but you did catch a sharp corner of these rusty metal ladders. You reach the bottom, and Althaea and Abaddon, you kind of meet up with him at that point, and you see him finally at the ground level. What are you guys going to do now?
Do we...
fucking run.
You all running?
Yeah, it would be wise if we go now.
We should
Yeah,
pretty much.
you guys take off down the main alleyway leading towards the main road. You kind of cross paths by the arena. You kind of like, you're too focused on getting away, but you see like some fights going on in the pit and some crowds cheering. Some people take notice of what's going on, and you make it up to the main path, the main alleyway or main road leading down towards the market district and the residential district. Which way are you going to go? Market district's at where Poseidon's Rest is and where the cisterns lead to the HQ, and then the residential district is where the town square is and the 2 bars are that you were at last.
We're going to have to hit the cisterns, people, because we're going to have to dodge the guards for a little bit. At least you 2 are. Althaea has no qualms with kicking the shit out of people.
This is why I said we were supposed to hide. This is what happens when we go outdoors. So off toward the cisterns then.
You kind of hastily make your way to the abandoned warehouse and head down in the cisterns. You feel safe for the first time throughout the entire encounter. Yeah, you feel like you've gotten away from the guards and that there's no one chasing you at this point. You are down at the very bottom of the entrance of the cisterns. I assume you're heading to the HQ, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
You enter. You go down to the entrance towards the HQ, and you kind of relay the same password that you learned before and figured out before from the original puzzle. They just use that as a security caution so that nobody can just waltz into the HQ. You enter this what looks like a dystopian like kind of refugee camp sort of thing with that large pool of like water with a cross bridge going across all 4 sides of what looks like to be actually drinkable water. And you kind of look around and you see Lady Brestine kind of tending to some business with some of her resistance members.
Hey, Scales?
Yeah.
You guys,
Remember what I said about not being afraid of heights?
Guessing you are now.
Yeah, a little bit. Thank you, Althaea.
write that down on your character sheet as fear of heights.
I'm going to.
Full plate.
I'm
Why would you
going
stop and
to.
fight him?
As soon as Althaea is done, I'm going to take the opportunity to gather a little bit of water and wash out that wound from the rusty ladder
Yeah, no problem. You kind of noticed that it wasn't too deep or anything. It actually almost basically stopped bleeding, but it's definitely a good idea to clean it up a little bit. Lady Brustine kind of takes notice of you guys' sudden entry, and she kind of walks up to you. What is the problem? What happened?
They wouldn't let me kill people.
Althea
Oh.
insisted on going outside, and we ran
Long
into
story
guards.
short, your brothers are dead. Abaddon and I were nearly caught, but we managed to get away, and so we're hiding here.
She kind of leans back and sighs. It's like, well, mission success, I guess, but I would hope next time you do go a little cleaner this time, not catch attention. I'm glad you are safe, and I'm glad you are causing trouble, but next time be quiet about it. As
Well,
you
when
already
we
know.
killed them, we were quiet. And when we disposed of the bodies, we were very quiet.
But Althea insisted on going outside and fighting.
I see,
I
so
insisted on getting out of the basement. I'm an elf. I don't do well in closed spaces.
And you think prison would be much better?
At least I could fight my way out of prison.
Children,
Abaddon has spoken.
yeah, what's done is done. Let's just deal with what we got now. Plans have changed.
You see Lady Brustine kind of tapping her left arm where her tattoo is, and kind of thinking for a moment, well, I suppose that's going to make things slightly more difficult, being that they're going to be a little more on alert, being that there has been some violent activities. That just means we have to act a little bit faster on this now, doesn't it? Don't we?
For all their
Not
concern,
violent
they don't know anything
activities.
happened. They just want to question people. For all they know, we're two teenagers and one old man having a good time and pull the wool over their eyes.
I am not old.
Bath, and I need alcohol, and I need these two away from me for a second. Especially that one. She points to the tiefling.
Besides,
She kind of just like stares at you, kind of irritated. If you guys are done bickering with each other, I suppose you guys can get some rest down here. Regain
Oh,
your
I'm
senses.
so sorry, Princess, that we're taking all the difficulty onto our shoulders for you.
You didn't
Yeah.
have to take on this challenge. You could leave at any point in time.
Well, now that they're in your capable hands, I think I will.
Althea, that's enough.
She kind of just stares at you and says, very well, and just kind of like walks away.
look, the important thing
find
is
my
they're
son.
not going to find the bodies, so they can't prove they were killed. We just need to lay low until the guards calm down, until they give up their search.
You guys stand there with just you three kind of talking to taking in the moment of what just happened and the
They might be
tension.
standing. I'm kind of knelt off to the side, still washing my hand.
Okay. Scales is off, washing out his wound, kind of listening in on what happens, kind of just, I assume, kind of disappointed in the argument. And you don't seem to be like none of you seem to look like you're being forced out of anything. You just kind of figured Brustine might have walked away from the confrontation before it got any worse.
Right. As if we haven't pissed her off enough.
The only one I have to worry about pissing off is my goddess.
Well, maybe the people down here matter a little bit too, because we have to be around them all the time.
Now, before I teamed up with you guys, I could fight my way out of just about any situation. I have to tread frickin' eggshells, and it sucks.
I hate to break this to you, Althea. You may be a cleric of your goddess. Your goddess cannot protect you if you were thrown in jail, and you know that. And you know that you are strong, yes, but you can't fight forever.
No, I only have to fight to find one more person.
The intensity of the moment kind of subsides as you both all take a moment to rest and take a breather. Brustine comes back. I take it everybody has calmed down now. I realize I have asked you all a great deal for my city. I realize that you are taking up on a large chunk of this work, but do not mistake. I am working around the clock to find out every bit of information I can about ending this quickly. We may have come to a snag, but as long as they didn't directly see your faces, we should be fine.
I'd
Like you
imagine
said,
the only one they saw was Althea, but they passed her off for a drunken fool. She played the part quite well, so they didn't seem to suspect her.
And they're not likely to remember her face if they just think she was some random drunk on the street.
good then. She kind of sighs and looks over at Althea. Apologies. I did not mean to enrage. I understand, much like yourself, I do not like to be in enclosed spaces much like you.
It's not that. I came here actually following a clue. I didn't expect to be thrown in the mix of a war and my own demons to find.
Destiny has its own mysterious ways of bringing us together. She looks down and lets out another sigh. Can I still count on you three to aid me in this?
You have my aid.
As I told you before, my lady, you have my help.
I would never abandon this cause.
That is good to hear. Please, take a night of rest. Regain your strength. And we will talk more about what we can do, our next step will be tomorrow. She kind of walks away and just begins like she's going off to take care of business underground, talking with various members and civilians that taking camp underneath the within this refuge.
Althea will get up and follow her. My lady.
She turns, raises her head. Yes.
You know a lot about history, correct?
Maybe not as much as I would think I would like to. I didn't get a whole lot of chance to study our libraries before this whole occurrence happened. But I can help you in any way I can. I do know some of this realm.
About 119 years ago, a small village was attacked. Althaea. You wouldn't happen to know anything about the people that attacked it, would you?
That is... I recognize that name. That was a small village in the Great Pines, correct?
Just outside of, yeah.
My biggest guess, off the top of my head, would be some barbarian raiders. That's all I have learned from the history books. I feel like the scholars and the scribes might have wrote it off as such. But as far as any particular faction or group, unless you can remember who or what creatures were attacking, I couldn't say anything more than that.
Reach into her pouch at her side and pull out what looks to be like a tattered banner that would be on top of a spear, a small one. And all that's left on the emblem that hasn't been burned off by fire was what looks to be a head of a griffin, and she'll hand it over. This is the clue that they found me. Said it would lead me down here somewhere. Someone down here would know. And he said somewhere from the Southern Isles.
She kind of takes it and examines it carefully. I cannot recall right off the top of my head where this comes from, but I promise you, I will get right on this and get you any information I can as soon as possible. Do you mind if I keep this with me?
As long as I can get it back.
Of course.
It's the only thing I have of the monsters who slayed my family when I was 6.
Of course. I will take good care of it. For now, I need it so I can do a little research, and I do not want to send you down a fool's errand if I can't give you the correct answer.
That's fine.
She
Sorry
kind of
about touchy earlier. I don't run away from fights. I ran away once and I lost my family.
she kind of takes note of your emotional state, and she kind of like places her hand on your shoulder and like around the back of your neck and looks you deep in the eye. I too have lost my family, and I do not wish to run from this fight either. Me and you are a lot alike in some ways, and a very different in a lot of ways. I was born of nobility, and I don't think you were. But that doesn't mean our situations are any different. You want to get revenge on the ones who killed yours? I want to get vengeance on the ones who killed mine. Together we can work together to bring these tyrants down, and then I will help you at any cost to bring the ones who killed your family down with as well.
Thanks.
She kind of lets go of her grasp and kind of regains herself. Is there anything else I can help you with at this moment?
No, I'm gonna go bandage up Scales' hand so he did a number on himself again.
She just kind of smirks. Well, I hate to call it as such, but mercenary work does kind of lead to some injuries like that. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves.
I'll take care of him.
She kind of turns away and begins on with business at her desk station, and she lays the banner on top of the desk as if she made it a first priority.
Walk off, go back over, take Scales' hand, pull out the healing kit. Come here before you make it worse.
Althea kind of comes over feeling... You could tell she had a very solemn and emotional conversation, but she doesn't show it in her face. She seems to regain her usual composure, but you kind of can sense like kind of like when you sense the tension in a room, you can sense the solemn and the emotional sadness of an area as she takes your hand and begins cleaning it up and sewing up, or just sealing the wound on your hand.
You know, that actually reminds me, just as like a sort of a side point to Janae,
Yes.
we haven't been able to get to the shop because they're probably closed, but you could probably stand to look around here. I would imagine they have some sort of like thread and needle of some sort.
Yeah, something we can take for mending our own clothes.
Well, mine still need to be mended.
Yeah, your stuff needs to be fixed.
I've still got a hole in the chest of mine, so...
Yeah, we'll also need some material to patch that hole up, though. It's probably a bit too big to just sew up.
I'm sure if you inquire, you could find someone who is in control of supplies. If you just ask around.
Shall we look into fixing up your fancy robe, Scales?
I kind of glance up for a moment and think, and though
The answer
hesitantly,
is yes.
Though hesitantly, if you let me finish,
I know.
I take off just the shirt and hand it up to you, and like, here, go and get what you need.
No, you two just stay out here and I'll be back. So, off I go to find where I can get supplies.
You kind of ask around, and people point you towards the direction of this scruffy-looking human male with blonde, dirty blonde hair. That dirt on his face looks very unclean, and I wouldn't say vile or anything, but you can tell it's been a while since he's had a good shower. I mean, they're living in a cistern for God's sakes, but he kind of looks up to you. Yeah, what can I do for you?
I need sewing supplies. Thread, needle, cloth, anything you can spare.
I'll see what I can do. You can tell like this this life in the cisterns have brought him sadness and depression. Like he's ready to move, like everybody else. You kind of get the sense that everybody's just ready to get out of here, ready to live an actual life again. He kind of just goes sifting through some boxes, and he comes out with some thread, some black thread, and so what looks like some dark black cotton cloth. This is all I can find for now. If you want anything else, you might have to go to the surface and go to talk to Vaginal.
How much do you want for this?
Nothing. This is a refugees camp. We don't charge for helping others. He kind of smiles at you. Just promise to bring these tyrants down.
Oh, I've been doing that since I brought my staff and my coin here.
He smiles. Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, this should be it for now. Thank you.
He kind of goes back to he has what looks like a clipboard and a piece of paper, kind of checking off a little bit of the supplies that he just gave you to keep track of what they have.
So I'm gonna go back to Scales, sit down, summon my unseen servant, and have it sew up that big ass hole in the middle of his robes.
Abaddon or Abaddon.
Abaddon.
It's hard not to call you Abaddon.
It's children's clothes, okay?
Abaddon comes over with some a little bit of thread and needle and some black cloth. It's not at all gonna match your silk robes, but it'll do for now for patching up your silk robes.
I'm giving BM a point for that. You get an Abaddon point.
Nice.
What?
Because he accidentally called me Abaddon.
But yeah, no, she summons her unseen servant, and it begins patching up your clothes as you all sit together in a semi-triangle of a group of people, feeling tired and weary, feeling like you might need a good night's rest.
Though as soon as Althea finishes up patching Scales' hand, he once again pulls out the book and starts reading through it again, though this is the third time now.
Scales, as you're reading through the book, you kind of as I said before, it's more about the histories of the chromatic dragonborn, silver, gold, copper. You do learn that brief information that they are mostly born from the Crescent Isles to the east of Bramira, and that they are all mostly derived and ancestrally can trace their ancestry back to Bahamut. Bahamut is a god known as the Platinum Dragon. He's often a lawful good god. He is what. Go ahead and make a religion check. Actually, see if you already know this.
All right. Let's see, and religion. That'd be a 19.
Yeah, being that the what your colleague has set you upon as far as your quest, you do know that Bahamut is the opposing god to Tiamat, and you know that Tiamat is mostly the patron deity of evil, chromatic dragons. And Bahamut is the most common patron deity of metallic dragons. You kind of get this grimace in your heart because that pure statement that you read before, that it kind of makes you consider the fact that maybe your colleague was in fact a servant and a direct ancestor of Tiamat.
Of course, along with this, just as sort of I guess, a flavor detail to this, it is fairly noticeable that this is the third time I've opened this, look through this book, and I'm looking through it rather obsessively.
Yeah, Althea and Abaddon, you do take notice that Scales has been looking through this book for a good, for the past few times that you guys have actually had a time to sit down and relax, the first thing he does is crack open this book, ever since he found it at the Goblin encampment.
I am going to grab that book, close it while keeping my thumb on the page, and just look at him and go, okay, why do you keep reading this thing every time we have a chance to sit down?
I assure you, I have my reasons.
I'm just worried that you're getting a little obsessed and you look all worried and stuff. Are you okay?
Let's just say it. That's just at the particular word obsessed, his eye kind of twinges. Obsessed?
It's the only thing you've done other than run away and kill things. So, yeah, a little bit.
We all have our demons we get obsessed with, Abaddon. Leave his alone.
That's because
If
you
you
can't
must.
let it consume you. I'm not asking that you tell me what you're looking into. I'm just saying, don't let it take over.
If you
Don't let
must
it destroy.
know, this research I'm doing is the entire reason I'm here. I suppose if I'm going to stay around the two of you, it would be best to get this out of the way now.
I'm going to go ahead and hand the book back to him.
Mark the page myself and set the book aside. Now, I want you both to understand that yes, this might look like obsession, but for me, this is my motivation. This is why I'm able to get up and keep walking. From my tribe, I was not very well liked. I'm sure, as both of you have noticed, either from any previous encounters or from seeing the one before, I am different than a normal dragonborn, kind of gesturing to my tail. I am a genetic mutation. And as such, I don't quite fit in with my own people. I kind of submerged myself into the studies of my people to try and learn more about. At first, it was just about trying to find out why I was different and if that had any special meaning. It was through this that I met my first and only friend. He was taken from me. He was taken from this life by who I know not, but he made a final request of me. He and his blood were accused of being followers of Tiamat. If you don't know, that would be the Dragonborn equivalent of the Dragonborn equivalent of a demon god, I suppose. The embodiment of evil in this world to us.
Yeah, five-headed horse. Sorry.
So basically the equivalent of Asmodeus, then.
Consider
No.
how your
Asmodeus.
people are looked upon, Abaddon, by the general public. Think about how tieflings are treated. This is how it is amongst Dragonborn for any who follow Tiamat. Those who follow Bahamut do not take lightly and do not tolerate the presence of anyone who is a follower of Tiamat. And though with no proof, my colleague and his family were accused of such. And so, as a way to honor his memory, I am here now to try and find the truth, to determine if he really was. And I hope one day to be able to return to my tribe to prove them wrong. And even as I say it, the words kind of hit me like, why would I want to prove them wrong? What does it serve?
And what good would come of proving them wrong? They've already killed him with You say with no evidence showing them the truth. Do you even think they would listen if they were so quick to kill him without reason?
Truth be told, we don't know who killed him. The elders passed it off with little to no investigation into what happened. He was found dead in his study, and because of all the rumors, they didn't think he was worth investigating, and his family was banished and are now living in suffering last I saw them. I can't do anything for him. Vianla's gone, but I can try and make things better for his family.
You see just pure determination and also sorrow at the thought of thinking of his only friend perishing by wrongdoings that he can't quite prove. And and what you basically are getting from his story is that the only way he could prove that perhaps that they were wrong is to prove that their accusations were incorrect to begin with.
And also the sense that this is sort of, you warned not to let it consume him, you sort of get the sense that it already has.
I'm gonna hug
Reason I'll
Scales.
get
It's time for a hug.
Abaddon leans in and just kind of hugs you. I don't know how Abaddon, how
Just
do you hug?
just like one arm around his shoulder and just like a little one, not like creepy. This isn't over the top staring at your dick. This is like, I'm genuinely concerned about you and I don't know what to say.
Abaddon just places his hand around your shoulder and just kind of gives you that reassuring, I'm here for you, bro.
If we may, I have something I would like to investigate in the morning.
Sure.
Before you took the book from me, I read that a lot of my people, particularly along the lines of my color, our descendants tend to live out in the islands. We have a ship. I would like to go and see what I can find out.
Alright, we can go in the morning.
If nothing else, it'll get us out of town for a while the guards are looking.
Not to discourage that, I will let you know that the Crescent Isles are on the far east of Bramira. It would take more than a day to get there. Like that new map that Janae made, those islands to the right of it, that's what I was talking about.
Well, I kind of figured, but I mean, there's only so much we can do in town anyway, especially with the guards on alert now.
Okay, I just didn't know necessarily what you, like how much time you were initially wanting to spend on this.
Basically just enough to get out there and, like, the way Scales is saying it, whether or not it actually happens that way, is just enough time to get out there and look around and just sort of like get a feel for things. He's only imagining being out there for, like, okay, it'd be a day's trip out there, maybe spending a day out there looking and then coming back, but...
No. It's more. It'll be more than a day. Like,
Okay.
like it's like on the way far, and like the day and a half that it took you to get to the one goblins, it's gonna be like a good, like weeks worth of sailing to get out there.
Okay, you could phrase it as a week and not more than a day then.
Sorry, that's my bad.
Yeah, pulling up the map, Beach Castle is basically on the west end of the continent, and the Crescent Isles are the northeast corner.
Well, I mean,
Sorry.
that's what Scales wants to do, so... You two can stay. He wants to go and try and see the islands.
So just disappear off the face of the earth for a couple of weeks.
It's whatever you guys want to do. I have zero problem with either one of them.
Then I will add that as sort of a comment to it that I'm not asking the two of you to join me. It would be unreasonable. But I have every intention of going and trying to find anything I can out.
Who knows? Maybe they'll have information I need.
Oh, we need an excuse to leave and lay low anyway.
Okay. Do you guys choose the rest for the evening?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely need to.
Totally.
You all find empty racks and try to get as comfortable as you can. And you finally drift off to sleep.
Before they do, after she gets out of her armor and gets comfortable, she's going to step back and be the first time any of you actually see it, but she will pull something out of her bag, clip it, or tie it around her neck and leave it on this time. She had it on when she first got there, but she took it off when she put the fancy dress on and just hadn't had a chance to put it back on. And it hangs just a bit higher than her Artemis symbol. It looks like a little silver carved stag pendant.
Yeah, go figure. It dropped me again anyway.
Did it?
Yeah. Google Hangouts is just stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you want to go ahead and repeat that, Stormy, so he can hear what you said?
When she lays back to go to sleep, she'll reach in her bag and pull out a leather piece with a pendant on it, and carved onto the pendant is a stag. Looks like something a high elf would carve. And she'll tie it around her neck and lay back. And it's on a shorter length than her Artemis symbol, because her Artemis symbol hangs down between her breasts, so it's over her armor. This one hangs just about shoulder length with her body, almost like a choker.
Alright. I'm going to take a minute, and I'll be right back.
Got a baby problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just slowly typing up my character's backstory right now. Like, I found the papers, and I'm going, budget. I can type and talk at the same time. This has happened before.
Okay, I'm back. Alright, sorry about that.
That was fast.
Well, I can hear him screaming, but I didn't know she was still up. Okay, so as you all sleep very restlessly. We'll start with you, Scales. You begin to have a dream of seeing your colleague in his deathbed. The room is the small hut that you recognize the several times you've been there. You see him just laying there very sick and ill, about to lose the rest of his days, and you see what you know now is the letter that he gave you for the quest you have taken upon. You see it laying next to him on his bedside table, and he just, in Draconic, he kind of beckons to you with a weak voice. Come here, my friend.
Naturally, doesn't quite realize he's dreaming yet, so he kind of goes and kneels at the bedside. Yes, what is it?
You and I both know that my days are numbered. I don't know whether or not the elders or any of the tribe has done this to me. We cannot prove this. We already know. I just know that I don't feel well. And he kind of coughs up, and a little bit of blood spits out of his mouth onto his chin. I don't have much time. He reaches over and grabs the letter he gave you before, and he kind of just like his hand shaking, hands it to you. When I am gone, take this. Take this and prove the tribe wrong. I know that my family are not servants of Tiamat, but words alone will not sway their opinion. Take this and find out the truth. Bring it back. Some more coughing and more blood you see more blood comes out, and it tends to have a dark black hue of what you would suspect from poison. And he clutches, he reaches for your hand and clutches it. Again, very weak and shaky. He looks you in the eye. They are wrong about you. You are more powerful than they could ever hope to be. Your natural-born magics can out-trump their brawn. Do not let their words cut deep. You are better than they. Prove them wrong.
Yes.
Let's.
I promise I will.
You see his chest kind of like convulse and a couple more coughs, and you see him convulse a little, and you watch as his last breath exit his body. Your colleague lays there dead.
I suppose to add to that is sort of the realization he jolts awake, kind of sits up in bed, breathing heavily, sweating a bit.
Yeah, you wake up in a very cold sweat, kind of panicking. Abaddon, we come to you. You also were having a very hard time sleeping. You begin to dream of home. You miss home very much. There's images of you and Uriel spending your lives together in happiness, ruling over Tarkir, very hopeful and happy of just living. And then it suddenly turns into a nightmare. You appear at the scene of the beach castle square. In the center is a single crucifix. The last two known nobles that you know of stand at the base. Heskin Marine unleashes his flaming breath onto the crucifix. His view pans up, and you look up as well, and you realize the person on the cross is your love, Uriel. You run as fast as you can to the center of the area, but your body feels as though it were running in place, ever staying further away no matter how far you run. Her screams of pain and agony send chills through your spine. Off in the distance, you hear the two nobles' laughter boom in your ears as if they were standing next to you. Heskin Marine finishes his laughter with two words. You're next. You as well wake up in a cold sweat, feeling the pain of perhaps losing your love, perhaps leaving your love alone to be killed, to be taken. You feel a sense of guilt that you had left her alone. Althaea, you have you alone begin to dream of that very night, the very night that the raiders came and took your village. You can't make any faces, you just see bodies of your fellow villagers, fire all around each one of the buildings. You see what looks like some barbarians flying across the sky riding griffins. And you see your mother telling you to stay here. I will protect you. She runs forward and to go through the door and grab a precautionary weapon that she kept with her. Barbarians kick down the door, and you see a featureless face, because you never actually seen the face of the men who murdered your tribe. You just see alone what you can humanoid form standing in front of your mom, slaying her down and planting down that same banner into her chest after the stab wound he laid upon her. As a little girl, you sit there crying and crying, feeling helpless. And you also awake, breathing heavy, sweating cold, and you all wake up at the exact same time. As if you guys
Step up out of that bed and step away from it. Grabbing that pendant.
Fuck's sake.
The two of you as well, then.
Do we all have some sort of fucked up nightmares?
Seals is kind of sitting with his head down and his eyes closed, steadying his breathing, just constantly telling himself in his head it was only a dream, it was nothing more.
I'm like leaned over, holding my face in my hands, like, fuck. That wasn't normal.
This trip away from your homes have been very strenuous on your hearts and minds. You have these feelings of being homesick and memories of just home, wondering if the choice of leaving your home and pursuing these adventures was the right path. And that is where I will end the game tonight.
Alright then.
That's a very, very bad note to leave things on.
Yeah. Ouch.
By the way, it's done. I'll send you the new copy.
Okay. Told you I was going to get your feels.
You did do a good job of it, I will give you that.
You may have gotten feels on Althaea, but you just made her that more determined to kill something.
That's perfectly okay.
There you go. There's the new one.
Alright. I hope everybody had a good session. It wasn't necessarily as long as I would like to, but it's getting late and I need to help take care of the child and everything.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll probably play some Stardew until I'm ready to go to bed.
Alrighty. Well, thank you all for stopping in on this broadcast, and thank you all in the future who are watching this video. I am DM Brent. These are my players. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good night, everyone.